Hello, we are going to do a lesson today on equal parts for third grade math. This is Emmerich. He's going to help us with our lesson today. We're just going to start with a little activity. We have a group of M&Ms here, and I'm going to ask you to put them in any different piles or groups so there are no leftover M&Ms. Does that make sense? Yeah? Okay.
How many M&Ms are there?
You choose.
Okay.
You choose how many groups we make. What kind of different groupings can you make? Can you show us a couple examples?
Alright.
Okay. So your first pile, what did you do?
3 times 6 equals 18.
Okay, so there are 18 M&Ms. Are there any other ways you can do this? So you have 3 rows.
Yeah, of 6.
Yep.
I
Okay.
could do
So
two
show me another clumping. Now, and this time instead of making a square or rectangle, make piles. How would you do that?
9 and 9.
So you have how many piles?
2 piles of 9.
2 piles of 9, which is the same number of M&Ms. Do you have any left over? Are there any M&Ms on here? Mm-mm. No remainder M&Ms, right? So the product
is
is
18.
18, the same one. All right. Is there any other way you can think of? So you did 3 groups or 3 rows of 6 across, and now we did 2 and 18. Would 4 do it?
No, because 4 times 4 is 16.
We've done 2. What about this one?
Oh, the simple one.
The simple one. 1 and you just have one
1
group.
and 18.
1 and 18. Okay, I'm going to ask you to take your marker. And we're going to do this one together. Have you heard of the word array?
Yeah.
You have, yes. Emmerich in 4th grade, but that's okay. So an array, let's do an array of the examples we did. We'll just do dots to represent. Make your dots a little bigger so we can see them. So we'll do the first array.
I'm moving faster than me.
That's okay. So the first one you did 3 rows of 6 dots across. Yes. And that makes a nice even rectangle because we are working with equal parts, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what would a word problem like that look, or like what would the number problem look like with this?
3 times.
You write that right above. Okay, now don't erase that one. Now, what's the other one we did? What's another one we did?
2 and 9.
Okay, so this is gonna look, since it's not just clumps, this is gonna look like another rectangle, right? Now, is that still an array?
Yes.
Because there are no remainders,
Or
and it's even because we are working with equal parts of multiplication. Nice job. Okay, now you can go ahead and erase this. Now, we're going to take these checkers. I have 3 kids. Let's say I have 3 kids, okay? How can we all get an even number of checkers? Well, let's see. Just play around.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So it's the same amount as last time.
Okay.
So it would have to be the 3 and 6 again. Then 1, 2, 3.
So what a nice way to do this is, because let's say there are too many. Let's say there's that crazy odd number.
Mhm.
Let's make a pile. 1 for you, 1 for your brother, 1 for your sister. That's another way we can figure this out, right? So everybody gets an equal amount of checkers. So, how many are in this pile?
6.
And
6. 6.
so if I have 6 in 3 clumps, what's that? What would that be for if you were working on a mathematic equation?
It'd be 3 times 6 equals 18.
Okay, where do you get the 3?
The 3 is for how many piles there
Okay.
are. 1, 2, and 3.
Okay, and where would you get the 6?
The 6 is for how many checkers there are.
In each pile.
Yes.
So will you get the same answer if you count individually?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. If you count individually, what is that doing?
Just taking longer time.
Yeah, and it's also addition, right? 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that's an addition. But when you clump them together, 3 piles of 6. So can you find 2 ways to write that? In addition or multiplication, or there's a couple different ways. What works in your head? When you think, how do I get this answer? Oh. Okay, I didn't even think of that one. So it's
One
almost
more?
you counted.
Should I do one more?
Yeah, I'll do one more.
Um,
What about 6?
can I do division?
We're just going to do addition. We're just going to
Okay.
do multiplication right now.
Um,
Can I tell you the one I was thinking of
what?
while you think of another one? 6 plus 6 plus 6. Yeah. So that's when I think I have 3 clumps of 6. So if you're going to think about the addition problem when you're taking maybe a step backwards to think back, how would I have done this last year in 2nd grade or earlier this year in 3rd grade? 6 plus 6 plus 6 would equal 18. Okay, so what's one more way?
6 times 3.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes, so the 6 plus 6 plus 6,
It's pretty much 6 times 3 because you're doing 6 3 times and you're just not doing it times. You're like writing more.
yep, you're doing the multiplication to get the equal parts because there's no remainders.
Yeah.
So now let's say I have 2 kids. And we still have the same amount of checkers, but I only have 2 children. Or we're going to divide them in half because we're going to give half the class one pile and half the class the other pile. Because our checkers, how many do we have still?
18.
Because a lot of times is there more ways than one way to get the product?
Yeah.
Okay, so we made 2 piles right here. Now just like last time, how would your brain, what is an easy way for you to process this and think? How do I count all these? How do I get the answer? I have 2 piles of how many? Because you know that by just looking. I have 2 piles. And how many are in each pile? You can easily just count those.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And so there was no remainder, so they would have to be equal because there was no remainder.
So how would I write that? If I was, let's pretend you're going to make a worksheet. How would I write the problem for somebody to solve what you just told me? I have 2 piles.
2 times. Right, 9?
That's it. That's it. Yep.
9 equals 18.
There you go. So we got our piles that way. Now, I have 2 piles. Is there one other way you can think of to write this? Think real basic. 18 times 1. Yep, that would be, if we put them all together, we have 1 pile of 18 checkers. Now, let me ask you this. What if I wrote 9 times 2?
Oh, the turnaround factor.
Are you still going to get the same answer?
Yeah, because
Mhm.
you're not changing any of the numbers.
Yep. Kind of get it?
Mhm.
Now is when we'd probably do a worksheet and we'd see if how everybody was doing, right?
Mhm.
Thank you.